It's the mid-1970s, and cinema is buzzing with ambitious remakes and groundbreaking parodies. But one film dared to flip the script on a legendary story, rewriting the rules of gender roles and satirical comedy. You might not have heard of it, or maybe you've only caught whispers of its cult status. But today, we're diving into the fascinating, bizarre, and often overlooked tale of Queen Kong. Let's start with this. Imagine the iconic King Kong story, but reversed. The monstrous beast, this time it's a giant female gorilla. The damsel in distress, a man, and the setting, a tongue-in-cheek parody of the original, laced with 1970s humour and cheeky charm. At the centre of Queen Kong is Ray Fay, played by Robin Asquith, who you might recognise from British sex comedies of the era. Ray is the quintessential damsel, swooning and screaming his way through the film as he's abducted by ambitious director Loose Habit, portrayed by the striking Rula Lenska. Loose Habit isn't your typical filmmaker. She's brash, bossy, and absolutely determined to make her mark on the movie world. To do that, she drags Ray along on a wild journey to the jungle, where they encounter the star of her film, the amorous and enormous Queen Kong herself. But Queen Kong isn't just a gender-swapped parody. It's an over-the-top, campy adventure that gleefully pokes fun at traditional Hollywood tropes. It's got everything: miniature sets of London for chaotic guerrilla rampages, a groovy soundtrack, and a supporting cast that includes Valerie Leon as the Queen of the Nabongas, and Linda Hayden as a singing nun. Yes, a singing nun. The film's production itself was an adventure. It was shot at Shepperton Studios, a hub for British filmmaking, with additional scenes filmed around London and the port town of New Haven. For the climactic moments, the filmmakers utilised a scale model of London, built at Tuctonia, a now defunct theme park in Bournemouth. The result? A delightfully kitschy spectacle that leans fully into its absurdity. But here's the twist in the Queen Kong story. It was almost never seen. Dino De Laurentiis, producer of the high-profile King Kong remake in 1976, and RKO, the copyright holder of the original King Kong, were not amused. Legal action blocked Queen Kong from a theatrical release in the UK, forcing it to debut in Italy and Germany instead. For decades, it existed as a kind of cinematic ghost, whispered about but rarely seen. That is, until it found a new life on DVD. And believe it or not, the film gained an unlikely cult following in Japan. In 1998, a troupe of Japanese comedians dubbed their own dialogue over the original footage, turning the parody into something even more outrageous. This new version, dripping with humour in a distinctly Japanese style, was released on DVD in 2001. It's a rare phenomenon, showing how Queen Kong transcended its troubled release to become a global oddity. Critics, well, they've been divided. Some view the film as a delightfully campy romp, while others dismiss it as a cringeworthy relic of the 1970s. But there's no denying the charm of its cast. Robin Asquith leans fully into his role as the hapless, objectified Ray Fay, while Rula Lenska delivers a performance brimming with charisma. And let's not forget the ensemble of quirky characters, from a crew of feisty women to a comic relief nun with a guitar. The plot, as chaotic as it is, sticks loosely to the King Kong blueprint. Without spoiling too much, Ray Fay's jungle misadventures lead to an unforgettable showdown in London, as Queen Kong wreaks havoc while chasing her heart's desire. It's part love story, part satire, and entirely ridiculous. So, why does Queen Kong matter? Because it's more than a parody. It's a snapshot of a specific era in filmmaking, where rules were bent and risks were taken. It's a celebration of camp, a playful jab at gender roles, and a reminder that even the most obscure films can find their audience. Today, Queen Kong stands tall, not just as a movie, but as a cult phenomenon that refuses to be forgotten. If you've never seen it, track it down. It's a movie that thrives on its imperfections, embracing the absurd with open arms. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find yourself rooting for a giant gorilla with a soft spot for a certain Ray Fay.
Go on! That's it! Below the belt.